carrying on the theme of the last episode a little bit. This is like a Google Chromecast thing, which I'm going to be using with a projector. This USB needs to go up there and go into the USB socket there, which is turned around, so I've got it out. Then it needs to come along here. I'm thinking actually I'm probably going to have to change this HDMI lead for a short one, because I put quite a long one in there, and then have a 2-into-1 splitter around about here. That's probably the best way to do it. That's the first bit done. That reaches, it's in. Down here I've just got to put all these panels in that back, put this up. Okay, I'm in decent progress, got all that back together. All that's back in. That's switched on because I've got the other wire plugged in. Temporarily taking DVD out because I've connected it up to this, because I wanted to test this, and here we go. That's going to be for me cast for the phone. This phone that I've got is actually incompatible with it, so I can't use it right now, but my phone contract is up in a few months, so let's get that sorted soon. Right, just demonstrating the sound from the actual projector. On the last episode I had it hooked up to soundbar up here. That's on full volume, so it's not great. It's much better with soundbar, but it's not too bad. Just I'm putting step in, and I've actually got half of it in. I shall be filling all these holes up once it's in. Oh, I've not fastened this bolt, have I? Yeah, so one more bolt. Right, so I've been having problems with the front bit, the step where the exposed aluminium is, so I've recut it. It should be a lot easier to fit like this. I've had to redo the spacer as well, but it should fit better and a lot easier. Right, I'm finally getting somewhere with this. It's taking long enough, but I had to re-drill that one to get both bolts in. Just re-drill one hole. Well, that feels to me like it's taken forever, but I finally got it all fitted in. Now I'm a little bit concerned about just at this edge, possibility here of it wanting to tip all that way and then putting strain on wood here and here. So I'm just going to put a 20/20 strip under there to support this front edge. But that's basically it. Okay, that's about an hour or so that I've put into just making this last bit for this step, just to support it at the edge, and now we'll do it. But this stuff cluttering my kitchen floor up forever. Well, I've got a good use for it. I've got the first piece cut, just putting clad grip on. Okay, this first piece in, the panel is slightly curved behind it, and it's not staying stuck in the central bit there. I don't think actually it'll need to. I don't think it'll matter as long as it stays stuck on the outside. These bits here will hold the rest of it in anyway. I think that's reasonably acceptable, that. That's 2 bits in, get him somewhere. That was quite a late decision, cutting that off there. I'd have been better leaving it on actually, and just cutting around that a little bit. Possibly. It'll fill. It's not that wide a gap. Right, just about to put this one in. I'm a bit gutted actually, because I've made it such a close fit. I actually damaged it at the edges there trying to get it back out, just when I was trying it for size. It's in a barely visible position, so I should reasonably get away with it, hopefully. But it is a very close fit. That's a little ceiling piece in. I'm pretty pleased with that actually. I've had some of these P-clips delivered, so I'm doing the last couple. I've just put these 2 in, and that's the last bit of holding in this area. I've just got one more to put in on the other side of this, and then that's it for securing the pipework. What I'm doing currently is just securing this so that it doesn't flex inwards. So I put a little corner piece on there. That's cut a bit long, and I don't want to take this out. And I've also, I don't know what that's from, but I've just drilled it out a bit and used it, bolted it to that. And I'm going to fasten it to the hole in here. Well, that's pretty good actually, that. So it's just a case of fastening it in now. This bit of the wall is curved slightly, and I'm a bit concerned about these sticking to it properly. Is it going to stay there? It might. I might be better off cutting them into panels just on this wall, in effect having big tiles, so that they stick to the curves better. Maybe having complete panels on here, because apart from anything else, I'm going to do it contrasting. I think I'm having one colour that wall, which is these panels, and then probably I think a different colour on these walls, but just see how it goes. I'm just cutting square tiles out for the shower. Got about half a dozen done on here. It's a bit of a long story with this, but I've been left with a gap. I did it with silicone seal and it didn't work. It needs done with filler. But the problem is, it's highlighted this. I've just put this light on and I've got a leak in the ceiling around this fan. Now, I had a problem with it when I first fitted it, but I thought I'd sorted it all out. So there's clearly still a problem. It has rained very heavily lately, so it is still letting water in. That is a blow. So it's hard to see where this problem might be. Where I thought it would likely be will be here, and it's gathered here already. But that looks to me to be sealed alright. What I can see is a little gap here. I'm going to put this piece of rubber, and that is a possibility. Right, so I'm going to go down edges a bit more with Sikaflex, but I'm also going to put these two bits of rubber, just stick them in here just to keep the pull in, because the water pulls in here, just to keep it further back and encourage it to flow over that and that way. You get a bit more in here, a bit more there. Got all that done to my satisfaction, both sides. Hopefully it'll be okay now. I've also had this down, which is dodgy with this in way. It takes a bit of time getting out after I undo that. Dismantle this, put it there, clean that up, and now it's all clean again. So now I'm going to try and even this up with stain. It's not too bad actually. Looking as if it might be alright eventually. That's looking a bit more like it. Another coat, possibly two, should sort that out, and then I can actually fasten the shower tray, silicone seal the shower tray down to the step. Then I can start putting the waterproof panels in the shower. Okay, I put a second coat of stain on there. That'll do me, I think. Also, I've flattened that filler out. That's just about ready for tiles now. And I've not really been thinking about floor tiles that much. I've kept an eye on a few, but 3 days ago I saw these things, like planks of wood but made of vinyl. They're actually thick, they're really heavy. So I ordered them 3 days ago. They came yesterday, and I'm going to start fitting them today. Typical me, that is. It's got a few easy ones in. Just cut one in half up to now. One day, one halves. The next one, there's a tricky one. Yeah, this piece is taking a bit of work. 3 goes. It's knocking off at there. It's actually fullest day's work I've put in for ages, but got quite a bit done there. Some really awkward pieces fitted, especially around the galley down at the bottom, just down around this step. I'm out of panels now, I'm waiting for another delivery. Right, so I did actually overlook the fact that I'd have to finish this off before I could finish the last bit of this off, so put a little piece in there and that bit. Time to put this on. Right, that's that bit done. I'm going to be putting checker plate angle right across. Just now I've got a back end all finished. I think I'll probably spray that bit, clean it up and spray it. It should look a little better. Okay, so I'm finishing the floor around the dinette. I decided to carry this flooring on right under here. to get it just how I want it, I've had to dismantle the step and start putting it back together now. I wanted to cut this bit down for one thing that goes here. A bit awkward to get back in. It should look better for it. Well, I made pretty decent progress for that. Like I said, check plate angle here, that'll neaten that up really nicely. It's really cold today, so I've stopped a bit early, but I've just got another piece to put in there to finish that off. And also with the remnants, I'm just going to finish into the wardrobe right up to the edge there, and also do this upper wardrobe shelf with it as well, if I've got enough left. I think I should have. Okay, so I've got that little bit done under the seat and carried that on into the bottom of the wardrobe. That's not bad. This bit is very haphazard because I was using remnants, so it's all over the place. I'll just put a bit of silicone seal just to fill gaps up. So that's a bit random, but at least I had enough to finish it. Right, so I've silicone sealed the step in this morning, and also that is, bear in mind there's a lot of light coming in, that is the cast. So I'll switch the USB off up here, leaves no picture, and then DVD on. So we've got that DVD back off again, and this back on, and it takes a second, but here we go, all sorted. Awesome. Right, last job for the day. Put this check plate in, finishes it off nice, looks nice. Needs a bit more edge in here. I can't do that until I redo this. I'm doing this in tongue and groove. Then I can do that and cover it with that probably. Okay, so after illness over Christmas, bad weather before that, and then bad weather since, into New Year. This is actually my first bit of work on van for nearly 4 weeks. It's still really cold, so I'm just going to fit this today, and that'll be the only job I do today. Well, that's not much, but at least when I get in and out of the van now, it stops me kicking up. These edges of the floor tiles have been lifting up a little bit around here where they're getting. So that's sort of that. I think I'm going to have to do this in 2 small pieces. I would have liked to have done it in one full piece, but there's too much curvature on this bit, so probably 2 bits there. I'll do it maybe 3, I don't know. Okay, it's the next day. Just carrying on with this. Got that fitted. Not bad, but I'm more pleased with how I've got that cut. I'm just about to actually fit it in place now. That's looking pretty good. Okay, got that bit done. This bit in. Last bit, I could have shaped that a tiny bit better, but it's not desperate. That all done. I'll just clean this up and spray it later. It's way too cold to spray at the moment, but it'll need a bit of paint on, so I'll do that in a month or so. Okay, this is the worst job that I've got left on the van. I'm not really devoting much time to filming it because I've filmed myself doing one before. But this is the last cushion that I've got to put a cover on. I've got 2 corners done, 1 more to do, then just do the hem, sew the hem up, and that's it. Okay, so we're working at the back end. I need a couple of underwear drawers here. So I've got one being cut. I don't like putting in there This then has to fit to the upright to that sort of point to provide a shelf for the second drawer. And then I need a piece here to support that shelf as well. I've already cut that, cut a line down there, drilled all the bits. That fits in separately now. Alright. That's actually sitting a little bit higher than it will. I've got it pretty much cut to the right length. Right, so I did that a few weeks back, ready to put a door on here to access the plumbing. At the same time I did that beam. This one needs to be the same length, so cut the hole there. In case I fasten that in there. And then the beam for the shelf needs to go across here. I've run into a little problem with this. Where this falls, this needs to be at 180 millimeters from the base for it to just cover the bottom drawer and have enough room for an equal sized drawer above here. So it needs to be that sort of level. Trouble is, I haven't got any metal at that point to fasten it to that end, so what I might have to do is put the one wooden panel back in and actually fasten it to the wood. If that's the only way I can do it, that's the only way I can do it. I've been out for a coffee and thought of a better solution to this. Just got a tiny bit of off cut there, 2020, attached a quarter piece bracket there to it. And that one I'll bolt straight to that bit. That's just about the correct height. I've drilled it down here just to bolt straight through into there. That's really the easiest way of doing it. Okay, I'm trying to form a corner piece for the side door. I don't know how well this is going to work. What I'm going to attempt to do is bend it down there so that comes over to here. See how it goes. Okay, it's worked reasonably well. It could do with perhaps bending in a little bit more. It's not too bad. Well, that's him, and I think it looks pretty neat. I managed to bang it in with the hammer to get that corner bit a little bit closer together. But with the viewer it's slightly obscured anyway, but not wild about it having 3 screws close together like that, but that was quite neat. Right, so I've not filmed myself doing this, but I've been using this floor seal. It's actually easier to use than a silicone seal. I find it easier to use. I did the front off late yesterday, and then I've just done these bits today. So I'll just let it dry a bit and then wipe it down. All my future drawers have been delivered. It's a bit frustrating, they don't go in quite as far as I'd like. The bottom one, there's still behind that. I don't know if it's some sort of transponder for van or something, I don't know what it is. It might come out, but even so, I might. It's such a simple construction, it's tempting to just have them apart and cut it off right round at this point and then just fix it back in. I wouldn't want to do it, but let's got them both cut down in probably less than an hour. Not too bad at all. I'm just going to load it down like that to either side, so that just on one of them, so that there's a stopper at the back for it to pull out. I'll show what I mean in a minute if it's not obvious. Okay, I've cut this crate down with cut outs here. What I forgot to mention is that I'm not having drawer runners on these. They're just going to slide out on this base. But when I stop them from coming out fully, so I've put a beam across there. They won't come out because of that. Once it's to that sort of point, that's enough to still get into the drawer and get everything okay. put one handle on. This bit here is going to hold the bike nice and straight, so now I just need something to hold it there. Something to hold it there, just a couple of guides, that's all. Not on the floor, it's just a case of putting them in. Okay, so I've ended up putting a third one in, just to guide it a bit better. But these blank crates were delivered after 1 o'clock this afternoon. And it's now not quite 4 o'clock, so I've got all this done in 3 hours, which is really not bad at all. And that's really guarding that in nicely. Chuff for that. So the next thing is to get this at the right height and then get a beam across there to stop this getting out past that point. Got to put the other beam in here, get my shelf on, and then this one coming on top of that shelf. So we're making all the locker doors out of wood. I've got little problems like that with the wood expanding with the cold weather, so they all want a little bit of wood taken off. But I've had a little problem up here behind the bed. I found the 2 panels stuck out like that. I've just taken a bit out of that. It's getting a bit dark in here, but I finally sorted it. I had to take a surprising amount of wood off, a good 1/4 inch off that bit. You can just about see how narrow that piece is, and this piece. But it's all holding together okay, and I'm just a little bit concerned how it's going to look when warmer weather comes. But at least it's back how it was, and this piece has worked with it as well. Come away from that was a fairly tight fit there, same as over the top of there. So hopefully it'll just settle down and look better this summer. I've done a little bit of work on this in day, not very much, mostly in evenings. It's taken me 4 evenings to do this and a little bit of work in day. But just got the last triumphant cut of the cotton, and that is it. Awesome. And that's what it looks like from the top. It's a pretty decent fit actually. So I fitted this beam earlier for the upper drawer. I wanted to put this one in, but I've got a problem with how I've mounted this panel here. That's not going straight. So what I can do is kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because this is a 2040 beam. I can fasten it to there, fasten that panel actually onto the 2020 there, so that one's fastening right up to where that is. So this is the day after that I got that fitted. Late last night I also got this ready, so that is just ready to fasten in, but I'm waiting for delivery of bolts of a particular length, so I can't fasten it in. I also this morning got this cut, so that's ready to fasten in as well. When I did this shower, I planned to have an inner waterproof curtain, thinking they were all clear plastic, and an outside privacy curtain. I didn't know that some shower curtains were available like this. That could be the perfect length, I'm thinking, and it might suffice for both. I've also always planned this van as a 2-berth, but realistically, you can clearly sleep somebody, an adult, across there. So 3-berth, possibly 4-berth with a small kid there wants to set the van on. That obviously wouldn't apply to me, but yeah, a 3-berth at least. So I'm looking at adding little things in to make it more usable as a 3-berth. And one of the things would be, I think it really needs a privacy curtain for the bedroom up there, which that would work. If there was something across here, what that would then double as would be, once both curtains are shut here and here, then you've got a little private changing room with the shower and the wardrobes. I think that works out logically pretty well. It gives a nice bit of room, a little bit of room anyway, to get changed in privacy. I'm going to turn my attention to tiling this shower wall. Also, this has been winding me up for a bit. Just on this panel here is warping away from the beam. I shouldn't have used this stuff. I used aluminium section, rectangular section, and it would have been better with either channel or angle, one or the other, in hindsight. It's just made life difficult for me. I can't fit anything to it realistically, which is frustrating. But I'm thinking if I take that cover off, this will squeeze together and hold against that, which is probably going to be my best solution. Right, I've got that drilled, that in position. You can see how close the wire is. Unfortunately, I've got to drill through that and through that with in situ. I don't know exactly which way this way, because it goes upwards. It should be alright, but it is a little bit risky. I have to take the switch casing back off because the chuck was catching on the casing, so there's nothing in where that's alright. So I'm just going to countersink it at this side, and we're in business. Well, I ain't got a countersink bolt long enough, but that has done that very well. It's really closed it up nicely. That's workable. Right, light's still working. That's temporary. I will be replacing it with a countersink bolt. I've just ordered a couple. Now I want to get some tiles stuck on there. Well, I've had a pretty frustrating time on it with this. It's on the wall at the moment, as you can see. I've had to put temporary things in to hold it there. I don't think they're going to stay there. I'll probably end up having to use waterproof paint or something. I'll be able to use that on here because it's a completely flat surface, but it's the curvature of that a bit that's causing a problem. The clad grip don't seem to work very well on wood with this. It's a little frustrating. Right, this is a couple of days after I started putting the tiles on in the shower room. Fastened that in, fastened that one in. I could probably actually put another guide in probably. They pretty much stayed in place. That corner is not stuck down, but I think once I get a panel in there, that'll hold it, and especially once it's silicone sealed as well. I've also put a countersunk screw in there, not a big job, but sorted that out. And finished this checker plate angle off at the front of the galley. Now I am intending, because these drawers work this drawer particularly works really poorly, so I'm going to redo it like I've done the bike drawer. Right, I'm also pleased to have got a couple of nuisance jobs done. So took a bit off both sides of that. That's working fine. Done this door as well. That's much better. Still touching a little bit, but when weather calms down, that'll be fine. Still got these two to do. Yeah, it's touching on both sides and there, so it's going to have to be 3 pieces. I do that tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, another day. First job of the day done. Sorted these out. That's a lot better. Well, I decided I might as well use offcuts to make me drawer shelf up. So I'm actually just using bits of tongue and groove that I've got left over. I'm just about to put the runners in, so I make quite decent progress with it. I've got the drawer portrait finished. These lines are parallel with each other, but that is not parallel with that. It comes up a bit. So what I shall do is make it appear to look even. I'm going to put the front trim pieces on here, just make it come up a bit here. I've done something wrong somewhere, but it's not catastrophic. Anyway, quite pleased with that. That'll do me. Right, it's a few hours later. I'm just want to do one more job tonight if I can. I want to get this first trim piece on front of here, and the way I want to fix it is, I've not fixed everything consistently in this van, I've done things differently, but with this particular piece I can actually drill through the 2020 and put screws through the bike so that there's no visible means of fastening. So that's the way I'm going to do it. Right, from that end that doesn't look too bad, but if it's not obvious, I've made a tiny mistake cutting this, because I lined, I can't remember exactly how I measured it, but I lined it with the top of the beam to see how far down it was, forgetting that this would be raised up above the beam. So that's why I've made this huge mistake here, but at least now I've got an accurate measurement of how big it needs to cut into it. Also, I've fixed that a little bit too high. It needs to be just a couple of millimetres lower, but it is tricky trying to get it fitted. So it takes out the unevenness of it. I've just noticed I've still got a tiny leak at this window. So I'll have to deal with that. So I walked downstairs yesterday morning. Got to this point, looked out of the window, I could see a patch of bull over there. Straight away I knew the van had gone. So at first I was thinking, oh, I'm desperate to get a van back. But the more I thought about it, I'd be facing a 250 quid release fee to get it out of police pound if it's found in the first place. Driver's quarter window damaged, so I have to replace that. Who knows what else is going to be damaged inside. And I've got insurance and road tax coming up. So the longer I thought about it, the more I thought, well, hang on, there's certain things I could do better, I could make a bit easier. It made me think about putting the Murphy bed actually to come down from the back doors rather than off a wall, and basically not use the back doors at all, and have the dinette in the back next to the Murphy bed, and that would kill two birds with one stone. I don't need two lots of seating in van, and that's what I've got. This is not the last thing I'll be doing. I don't think I'll be building another van, and I need a bit of rest from it, recharge my batteries, and then look at doing it a bit more simpler, maybe better design.